Week 1, Tuesday, mobility work. Gonna need a softball, tennis ball, and you may want a lacrosse ball. But the exercise that I'm gonna use the lacrosse ball for, you can do with a tennis ball. So let's start out rolling our back out again. Let me adjust this video so that you can see a little bit better on what it is that I'm doing here. Again, we're gonna roll our back out. I usually will do this to try to get mine to pop a little bit. Then we'll come back down and hug both our knees to our chest. Then I'll take my left leg, straighten it out, hugging my right knee to my chest. We're going to go into a spinal twist. So we're going to take our right arm, extend it out to our side, pull our right knee across our body. We're going to look at our right hand. Going to come back, pull both knees to our chest again. Then we're going to extend our right leg out, pulling our left knee to our chest. Then we're going to pull that across our body, extend our left hand out into a spinal twist, looking at that left hand. Pull that left knee back to your chest, both knees back to your chest. We'll roll a little bit more, and we're going to get to work here. Okay, so the first exercise we're going to do is a softball, and it's called the QL Smash. And again, we're going to need our lovely timer to make sure that we're getting 2 minutes in. So the QL Smash. We're going to take the softball, and we're going to put it right about here when we lay on the floor. And so what's going to happen is we're going to lay with our knees crunched up like this, and the softball down on our waist. And let me tilt this a little bit more so we can kind of get a better view of what it is I'm doing. So, knees are going to be tilted. Softball, it's going to go right about there. You're going to take your knees, and you're just going to turn them to the side, and you're going to feel a twist and a pressure in your back. You want to try to keep your shoulders pinned to the floor. You don't want to reach up like this because it takes some of the actual pressure off that you're trying to create to loosen up that muscle down there. Again, QL. So here we go. 2 minutes. We're going to roll those knees. Sometimes you'll be able to get them to the floor. Sometimes you won't. Sometimes you'll have to readjust that softball to make sure it's just above your hip. It's not to be on your hip, above your hip. And off to the side, it's not completely under your body either. So if you're looking how you can see the softball, you should be able to feel that you're just essentially using half of that softball as you roll your lower back. So it's working the quadratus lumborum muscle, the QL. And it's helping to stretch out those tight low back that a lot of us get from sitting all day on our hinds. So again, as all other exercises, 2 minutes. First side. As with all of them, you should be able to feel something going on. If you're not, then sometimes you need to reposition the ball. You're not putting enough pressure down. Still got about 35 seconds. So you're not just kind of rolling back and forth. Sometimes you'll sit down in that lower position with your knees there so that you can get a good stretch out of it. And I usually try to look straight up at the ceiling. But for video purposes, I'm looking at you, and then we're going to switch sides so that you can see what's going on. I'm going to switch all the way around. Normally, I would just grab the ball and throw it on the other side. So, again, just above the hip. Right on the outside, you're using about half the ball, and we're going to go. Same thing. Like I say, you'll know. There should be some pressure there, not super pain, just a little bit of pressure. You should be able to feel the stretch across your low back. Yep, nice. Keep breathing. 2 minutes of this on each side. You need to readjust, you readjust. Oh, yeah. Really? We got about 30 seconds. Don't mind that. As apparently my phone is ringing even though I have it on Do Not Disturb. Ten more seconds. One last good stretch out of that. And then we're going to go on to the calf mob. The calf mob is just what you're thinking. You're going to stretch out the calf muscle. So we're going to need a wall for that. So I'm going to turn the camera a little bit so that you can see what I'm doing here. We're going to place the calf against the wall. Line your feet up straight. And then we're going to step into it with our rear foot. 2 minutes. And then what you'll see during this time is that I'm going to also bend this knee forward a little bit. So I'm going to bend this front knee forward. And as you can see what I'm doing with my back knee, and that puts an extra little bit of pressure on that calf to stretch out. Try to stand tall into it if you can. Reset when you need to. See, I come up on that rear toe, push more stretch into that calf. Then again, I'll bend that knee, that front knee, and that puts a different stretch on the calf. Make sure you end up bending both knees. You can straighten this one back out, which sometimes then you'll get a little stretch out of the rear leg as well. Straighten it back out, lift up on those toes. Again. So you're just going to keep moving back and forth between slightly bending that front knee and straightening it back out. Try to give that calf a couple of different angles on the stretch. We got about 20 seconds. Okay, from here we're going to switch feet and then go for it. Again, 2 minutes. As you can see, trying to get a nice stretch in that. I'm not hugging the wall. Chest is straight, standing tall. Bend that front knee. If it slips, just reset it. A lot of times I can feel this all the way up and through my hip flexor. Lift up on that rear foot. Get a little bit more stretch out of it. Now continue back and forth, bending that knee a little bit. Again, I can feel that stretching all the way up through my hip flexor. Then I'll reset, try to get a little bit more deeper into that stretch. Bend those knees. Still got about 20-25 seconds. Couple seconds. We're done. So, the next and final exercise that we're going to do is called a plantar surface smash. Now, we're going to use the tennis ball, or I'm going to use a lacrosse ball to do this exercise. This one's painful, so I'm going to warn you ahead of time. For those of you that were curious, my shoes, they say no excuses on them. So there are no excuses to getting stuff done. Okay, for those of you, again, tennis ball, if you're just starting, once you get used to this, you can go to lacrosse ball. What we're going to do with this ball is we're going to stand up and we're going to work this range of your foot. So from here to here, ball is going to roll around nice and slow. And when I say it's painful, it's going to be painful. But your feet are going to feel a lot better when you get done with this one. So let me tilt this a little bit so we can see what's going on here. I'm going to put the ball, and we're going to start. So you're just going to slowly move it around. Now, slide this way so you can see a better angle of it. Oh, God, that hurts. You want to keep breathing through this. And again, if you're not feeling something, you're not pushing down on it. And as you can see, I'm barely moving. This is a slow, methodical. You've only got a small area that you're working on that foot. And for those of you that have plantar fasciitis issues, this is a great exercise to take care of that. Or to at least try to help alleviate some of the pain that's involved. Because it'll be painful while you're doing it. But boy, your feet feel so much better when you're done. Again, you're going to stand tall and proud on it. Or I shouldn't say tall, because I usually lean over. Sometimes I end up having to hold on to something because it hurts so bad. Wow. But you're leaning your body weight pressure into that. Now, if you're into massage therapy, you know there's a lot of pressure points in the foot that are attributed to other areas of the body that may or may not be sore. So we get about 15 seconds, and then we're going to switch to the other foot. And again, like I say, it's slow movements. You can barely see the ball moving from what I'm doing. The area is so small. And for those of you that like to do that, you can. Oh, and we're going to switch to the other side now. And go. Again, 2 minutes. Keep breathing. Got to remind myself once in a while to keep breathing because some of these just hurt. But I know the benefits from doing them. Ooh, when you find that spot, it's kind of like pressure point therapy. You just sit on it for a little bit and see if it'll relieve. Oh, wow. Just so you know, I feel your pain. Wow. Like I say, small movements. And if that ball pops out of there, get it back under there. Got about 10 seconds or so left. Oh, wow. And we're finished. That's today's Tuesday, week 1's mobility routine. Thanks, and have a great day.